Okay, good. Your Excellency the President, Your Excellency the Deputy President, Prime Cabinet Secretary, Speakers of both Houses of Parliament, Speaker Weta and Speaker Kingi, and all distinguished guests that are here this afternoon. Good afternoon. Well, we are here to celebrate great service to country. And when God affords you an opportunity to serve your country, it's something that one shouldn't take lightly. Therefore, I believe this gathering is extremely important because you're celebrating men and women that have served Kenya in very high levels of government and done us proud. Therefore, on behalf of the Senate of the Republic of Kenya, we celebrate the three chairs that are retiring today. Archbishop Elliot Emeritus, we celebrate you for the great work of the three chairs that are retiring. And I don't think it's a bad thing. I've never had the chance to interact with you at your place of work, which is a good thing, I think. And to the other two, Dr. Jen, having been a member of Budget and Finance the last two terms of Parliament, we've worked very closely, crafting formulas and agreeing on the vertical distribution of resources amongst the two levels of government. And I know you have served us well with great distinction. We celebrate you as well. And of course, last but not least, we celebrate our good friend Wafula Chebukati, who served us well. And not just well, you served under very difficult circumstances. Earlier today, Your Excellency, I said to the AG, because, I am not in unfamiliar territory. I have served in Constitutional Commission as well. The last 5 years I was a commissioner at PSC, and my chairperson was the AG. And we looked back today and said, just reflecting on the story of the three IEBC commissioners that are retiring, that we owe them an apology between the AG and myself. Because it's easy to pass on blame as we are here as Constitutional Commission and say, oh, we celebrate IEBC for the work that they did, but this or the other commission didn't do their work so well. I think us as PSC also, there's a part where we missed a step. And I said to the AG today that we'll pull Wafula Chebukati aside and say, we are sorry for our contribution into part of the problems we had. Why do I say that? The IEBC Act provides that PSC, that's a Parliamentary Service Commission, needs to nominate 4 members to the selection panel. And then the selection panel, of course, will pick the subsequent commissioners, just like the exercise that is about to happen. Last year, or about 2 years ago, when we had that opportunity, of course, we sat down and you remember, for those of you that are aware about how Kenya was at that particular time, there was no difference, there was no majority and minority in parliament. Both sides were the same. Then there was another small, amorphous group, not small actually, large but unrecognized, that was largely operating around the then Deputy President, now our President. So we sat down and said, how do we ensure that in nominating the selection panel to the IEBC, we have the face of Kenya and reflect both sides of the divide? And we came up with the right decision. We said, if you take it to Parliament before majority and minority leaders, then they are likely to return names from only one team. The team that you then led wasn't going to be represented. Therefore, we took a wise decision and said, we are going to do it at PSC. And we closed the meeting, we prayed, and we left. Unfortunately, as was the culture back then, phone calls flew in, and we were called back to the meeting. We resigned that decision, and we gave the opportunity to majority and minority side. As you know and understand, those were one side of the political divide. So we ended up with four members of selection panel from one side of the divide and none from the other. The long story short, those 4 actually gave birth to the infamous OPEC 4, if I may put it. Therefore, I say to the AG today, we had our own share of blame. And that probably for the trouble that he went through because of that, I take this opportunity to say, we will do better. We will become like you. Even when you are tested in difficult times, I think the lesson that you have taught us is that we need to stand firm and not give the very famous excuse that we used to give the last few months and say, oh, I wanted to do the right thing, but a phone call, a very powerful call came from somewhere. And I think If you had done that, Chairman Chebukati, probably wouldn't be here as a country. Therefore, thank you for teaching us how to serve our country with distinction and honor. That's a great lesson that you taught us. That I guess the same can be emulated by all of us in our places of work. Thank you very much, Your Excellency.